Calaroga Shark Media.
From Washington, D.C. outward, the city's turning to gold. This is Ballot.
Yeah, too bad our luck died when Biden couldn't last 10 minutes in a debate. Let's hit this. I'm Patrick Gutfield, and Glenn Beck says Trump told him the real reason he's building a $300 million gold ballroom at the White House. And honestly, it's exactly what you'd expect. Beck claims he spoke with Trump in the private quarters of the White House recently, where the president explained his thinking behind the controversial 90,000 square foot ballroom that's currently being built where the East Wing used to be. According to Beck, Trump said, "You see all the gold? It's so important. These foreign leaders, they all come from palaces and they don't understand. And I know the White House is different, America is different, but they understand a power in a different way. So Trump's building a palace because foreign leaders won't respect him unless he lives in a palace. That's the official explanation. He needs to project power and wealth because world leaders come from old countries in these big buildings and apparently won't take America seriously unless we have a room the size of 1.5 football fields covered in gold." Beck was very clear about this. It's not because he likes gold. He's doing it to project power and wealth, which is hilarious because Trump absolutely likes gold. The man has spent his entire life covering everything he owns in gold. His apartment looks like Liberace's fever dream. But sure, this time it's purely strategic. Beck continued, "Notice how many prime ministers. They're all flying in all the time from all over the world. I've never seen a president meet with so many foreign dignitaries in the White House all the time. He knows the language they speak and not just body language or spoken language. That's what protocol is all about. It all means something." Right. Trump is meeting with foreign leaders constantly while simultaneously shutting down the government, threatening to deploy military forces into American cities, and giving speeches about how water destroys magnets. But the real priority is making sure visiting dignitaries know he's wealthy. Beck also revealed that Trump was surprised he could make such alterations to the historic White House. But since the building permit process is controlled by the president himself, Trump realized he could make it as short as he liked. So the president of the United States discovered he could bypass the normal approval process for demolishing part of the White House and just did it. No oversight, no real review. Just, I want a ballroom. Let's tear down the East Wing. The ballroom is supposed to be funded by private donations, though it's now expected to cost $300 million with no confirmed completion date. It'll seat 650 guests compared to the East Room's current capacity of 200. This will be the first structural change to the White House since the Truman Balcony was added in 1948. Truman added a balcony. Trump is demolishing an entire wing to build a golden palace. And his justification? Foreign leaders won't understand American power unless we build a room that looks like Versailles. Never mind that the United States became the most powerful country in the world without a 90,000 square foot bulletproof ballroom. Never mind that every previous president managed to conduct diplomacy in the existing White House just fine. Trump needs gold. He needs scale. He needs foreign leaders to walk in and think, wow, this guy must be important. Look at all this gold. Speaker Mike Johnson just casually confirmed that he and Donald Trump have discussed a third presidential term, which is, completely unconstitutional. Johnson was asked about Trump floating the idea of a third term, something explicitly barred by the 22nd Amendment, and his response was basically, yeah, we've talked about it, but unfortunately there's that pesky Constitution in the way. Well, there's the 22nd Amendment, Johnson said. It's been a great run, but I think the president knows, and he and I have talked about, the constrictions of the Constitution. The constrictions of the Constitution. That's what we're calling it now. Not the fundamental rules of our democracy or the law of the land. Just some minor constrictions, like a too tight belt after Thanksgiving dinner. This all started heating up again after Steve Bannon, former Trump strategist and man who looks like he sleeps in a filing cabinet, told The Economist that there's a plan in place to keep Trump in office past 2029. At the appropriate time, we'll lay out what the plan is, Bannon said, which is a terrifying thing to hear from someone who helped plan January 6th. There was speculation that Trump could run for vice president and then claim the presidency after the election, which is such a ridiculous loophole that even Trump rejected it, saying it's too cute. It wouldn't be right. Too cute. That's Trump's standard for constitutional governance. Not illegal or authoritarian or a betrayal of democratic principles. Just too cute. The 22nd Amendment was ratified in 1951 specifically to prevent presidents from serving more than 2 terms. And if that amendment doesn't count, which other ones might we ignore? Should we take away booze, the right to bear arms, or maybe the entire Bill of Rights? Portions of today's show were made with the help of the Supreme Court and AI.